Good evening. It's November 30th, and I've been posting a lot of videos about figs lately, and it's for a pretty good reason. First off, it is the end of fall, and there's just not much going on right now, except for fig cutting season. That's kind of at its peak right now. And the other reason is because rooting figs is really, really difficult once they've gone dormant. It has been quite the process. I purchased my first bundle of different varieties of figs 4 weeks ago, just about. And many of them have been wrapped up in paper towels for almost 4 entire weeks, and they're hardly getting going. A couple of them showed some initials, a couple of them didn't. I received a week ago some raspberry latte cuttings, and just today I received Italian 258 cuttings. And they're pretty small. They're not the most generous cuttings, but they have little buds on top. So I'm going to plant these, and I want to show you a few things. If you've been following along with my videos, you'll know about 4 weeks ago I wrapped my first lift of figs in paper towels. And the first figs I got were Black Madeira KK, Col de Dame Noir, and Smith. And I got them from Off the Beaten Path Nursery outside of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And in almost 4 weeks of having these wrapped up, I've had very little growth in terms of rooting. This is a Black Madeira KK. It has virtually no initials on it, maybe just a few bumps starting on the bottom. It's hard to tell. It's really not doing anything at all. Smith also has virtually nothing going on. I may have the first initial bump right there. And the Col de Dame Noir, it has a couple of bumps on it. Now, I had 2 of each of these cuttings, so I decided to split the difference, and earlier in the week I moved some of these cuttings. I moved the doubles over here into this bin, and since I've done that, this is the other Black Madeira KK, I've actually gotten a little green bump. You can see it right there. And there's another one down there. You can see it right there. So I have 2 green bumps that are starting. Still no roots. And they've only been in here for maybe 4 days. I thought maybe if I put them with a little bit more light and a little bit more humidity, it'll help step things up a little bit more. And then this Col de Dame Noir has another little green bump on it. But again, no roots that I can see. And it's only been 4 days in here. The other Smith is doing absolutely nothing in terms of roots or growth. And then this raspberry latte, this I got off of FigBid. I got a whole bundle of these for a really low price on FigBid. So this has been going for less than a week total, whereas the other ones have been going for almost 4 weeks. And it's really an interesting learning experience, because what I've learned from doing this is that figs, some people say it's light, some people say it's temperature. I really think that the most important thing is how dormant they are before you got them, and just the variety. Some varieties just like to take their time, because these raspberry lattes that I've had wrapped in this paper towel for less than a week, again, these are less than a week old, versus the other ones that have been going for almost 4 weeks. I'm already getting a significant root initial right here that's actually protruding. And that's not all. This is getting initials at the bottom. But the most impressive one is the thick cutting. They have real roots that are growing out. So I'm actually going to pot this one up. So it's really amazing that raspberry latte that has only been going for less than a week is further along than the other 3 varieties that I've had going for almost 4 weeks. So these videos aren't going to have such a strong point to them as some of my other videos are. This video series is just going to be more about being persistent, because rooting figs are hard. This can take months and months to achieve. You can have a fig cutting wrapped up or in soil for weeks or over a month and it have absolutely no activity at all, and it could actually rot before you get any kind of significant growth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these Italian 258 cuttings that are really thin, and I'm just going to go ahead with them, and I'm going to pot them up. I'm going to pot the other Col de Dame Noir because it's starting to show a few buds coming out. I'm going to pot up the 2 raspberry lattes that are already showing roots. I'm going to take this other Italian 258 that has no buds on top, sent for me from the cellar. That's going to get wrapped up in paper towels. So I'm really just going to try to split the difference, and I'm going to have 2 methods going to try to maximize my chances, because again, if these decide to take a very long time, they risk rotting before they could grow sufficient roots. So I kind of want to hedge my bets and have more than one method for success. So there you have it. I have cuttings that are directly in soil in my bin. I have cuttings wrapped in paper towels and Tupperware. I have a 20-inch heat mat coming on Monday that I found for $10, which is an awesome deal. So I'm going to add more bottom heat to this. So what am I doing all of this for? Well, it's simple. There's so many garden channels out there that make it look like they have all the answers. They have tutorials, and awesome tutorials at that. But fig cuttings are hard. I'm learning this just like most of the people watching the video are trying to learn this. It's a very difficult process. You have to be very, very patient. You have to be very, very careful, because if you underwater, your figs dry out and die. If you overwater, your figs rot and die. You have to give them fresh air every day. You have to occasionally look for mold spots and treat it with a little bit of hydrogen peroxide. It really is a process, and it takes patience and it takes persistence, and you have to manage your patience to make sure you don't get ahead of yourself and do something drastic like overwater or expose it to too much heat or not enough heat. There's just a lot that can go wrong, and sometimes it's just best to just sit back and wait and let nature take its course. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, follow along with this journey. I'll show you all of the ugly warts, all of my failures. I'll show you the successes, and at the end I'll try to make a compilation video of what I've learned, and I'll let you know what the best method I think is based on all the trial and error that I'm going through right now. So I hope you'll follow me along on this journey. Please subscribe, and we'll see you again next time.